This is a Government Week in Review for the week ending Friday, January 19th, 2024. I am Sherry-Ann Noel. In the headlines, Caribbean energy consultants pleased with Grenada's steps so far to transition to renewable energy. And Grenada sets the stage for CARIFTA 2024. Details to this story and more after the break.
Grenada, mark your calendars on Saturday, January 20th. The Lasages Plainfield in St. David will come alive with the beats and melodies of 20 Calypsonians, all vying for the coveted title of 50th Independence Calypso Monarch. We start their melodic magic at 7 p.m. sharp. These 20 passionate performers will show their true patriotism with their original song to the theme of one people, one journey, one future. Bring your energy, applause, and Grenadian pride and be part of the excitement as we get one step closer to deciding the 50th Independence Calypso Monarch. This is an event you don't want to miss.
Welcome back. The Limley PV solar plant in Carriacou receives the green light from the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency. Following a recent tour by government officials and CRE representatives, the center provides support to countries to accelerate implementation after the planning and design stages of individual solar projects. In 2018, Grenada received a US $2 million grant funding from the United Arab Emirates to establish solar PV projects as part of CARICOM's thrust to be more energy efficient and sustainable by 2030. Devon Gardner, head of technical programs within the Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, is optimistic that the Limley project will deliver on its objectives for the island.
So far, well, this project has always been conceived as a good project. Before I started at the CRE, I was fortunately in another seat at the CARICOM Secretariat where I was the head of the energy unit there. And so I had familiarization with the project during its early concept stages, and so I was able to bring that institutional knowledge to the table. And so based on what we had expected at that stage when the project was conceptualized, and based on what we see here in terms of the project as it is constructed, we believe that the project will deliver what was intended.
He said a few recommendations were made to the government. However, they are not major issues that will delay the full commissioning of the plant.
You still have some fine-tuning which need to be concluded. There are one and two things which I have noted and which the contractors who are here on the site too have also highlighted that needs to be done in order for the project to be, if you want to call it 100%, if satisfactory. But we believe that as is, the project will deliver what is intended to be delivered. It has been energized. It's providing solar-generated electricity to the grid in its current state. We went to Grenlex upper station this morning, and we saw, we looked at the SCADA system and saw what was being injected into the grid in real time. Today is a relatively overcast day, but still the project is able, even in that state, to generate around 10% of its total capacity on a day which is heavily overcast.
The Limley solar plant is Grenada's pilot project with intention to diversify the energy sector and have injections of 100% renewable energy to the grid by 2030. Climate Resilience Minister Honorable Kirin James said so far 6 solar panels have been commissioned.
So this project is not only important for our mandate for CARICOM and PT Martinique in terms of the savings that would occur, but it's also a pilot project, as I mentioned, for us to expand on this project and also look at alternatives based on studies that was done before for PT Martinique as well. So we want to make CARICOM and PT Martinique 100% renewable. It is a smaller population, of course, and so we would have we'll be able to see some of the best practices that is still specific to our country specifics to replicate on mainland.
Minister James outlined the savings and benefits to Carriacou and mainland.
This project was 3.5 million US grant funding, right? We are expected to see almost 50% of the diesel imported in savings, so that is roughly about $60,000 a year for Carriacou and PT Martinique. So it is a significant saving. The peak demand for electricity in Carriacou is not as high. Our total as a country is just shy of 33 megawatts. So Carriacou is about 1.5 or somewhere around there. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not as large, but from island perspective, it is about roughly 15% of the diesel imported. So we are happy that we are diversifying our energy sector, finally getting projects out of the pipeline and successfully implemented.
Moving along, 13 of Grenada's greatest calypsonians with iconic and timeless hits will grace the stage as they participate in the Made in Grenada's Calypso at 50 on Sunday, February 11th. The event will be the platform for fans of calypso, carnival culture, and Grenada to witness the transformation of calypso. Founder of Made in Grenada, Dexter Mitchell, says because of the history of calypso and what it means to us is one of the main reasons for the staging of the event, 50 years of calypso, as we celebrate our Golden Jubilee.
For example, Flying Turkey is a great source of information. So periodically we would have these conversations about Grenada's calypso, the calypso 10s and calypso in the 70s and 80s and so on. So it was just another conversation. Unlucky Patrick Humphrey, who happens to be a family friend, Peter Humphrey, also a family friend, from Birch Cove, my family from vgh'n Closier, so they kind of grew up together. So it was easy to reach out to them. Lady Cinty's is like an aunt, you know,
Right,
always see her, I don't pass her without hugging her and acknowledging her presence. So it was very easy.
The cast of 13 calypsonians, Mitchell says, was selected based on hits among them that totals over 60 national hits, including the likes of Unlucky, Peter Humphrey, Squeezy, Lady Cindy, Smokey, and others.
Been Junior Monarch, Independence Monarch, Soca Monarch, Road March, Senior Calypso Monarch, and Groovy Monarch.
Right.
But it was not based on titles per se, but hit songs. So the unfolding of the show will be based on hits, and we are going to mix and match. So it's not going to be chronological, you know, starting from the 70s come down. So you might get somebody who had hits in the 90s beginning the show, and so on. And the idea is that every time an artist comes on stage, the audience has to react, has to stand up and dance and wave, because that song will be so familiar.
Right. The once-in-a-lifetime event will be held at the Junior Murray Royal Lewis stand of the National Cricket Stadium with a 6 p.m. start, where each calypsonian will perform a minimum of 2 selections. Minister with responsibility for the creative economy and culture, Senator the Honorable Adrian Thomas, calls for local artists to be respected not only during peak seasons, but throughout their continuous contribution to culture. He was at the time making remarks during a recent press conference held to promote the Up From Here concert on February 2nd, held in commemoration of the island's 50th anniversary of independence. The event will showcase the vibrancy of Grenada's culture from performers locally and abroad. As a calypsonian, the minister said more should be done to show up for artists here wronged and appreciate their hard work.
We need to put artists in a position where the society respect them. And not only as just as ordinary calypsonian, but I can tell you, during the carnival season, I hate to see calypsonians at the gate waiting for a ticket or begging for a ticket to go inside after they have contributed so much. I hate to see, really and truly, they are the architects of our culture. They are the architects of our carnival. And they will play a significant role in terms of having 50 of them on stage. I mean, what other industry can you get to bring 50 people of that art of that nature on stage at the very same time? So let me say that this is a very, very important event, and I want to encourage all Grenadians to come down to the stadium on February the 2nd, be part of it, come with your coolers, come with your family, come with your food, make it a grand event.
Project manager Siobhan Redhead highlighted what can be expected on the night of the 2nd.
Expect the best. Expect to be intrigued from the moment you walk into the stadium, from the moment you're walking into your seats, from that first vocal range hits that sound system, expect to be intrigued. Now we have, as I mentioned, a wide variety of talent. So in the interest of celebrating our 50th, we have to acknowledge the steps we've taken from where we started versus where we're at. So the show takes the shape of how has Grenada evolved, how has our culture evolved, how has our music evolved, how has our people, how as a people we have evolved. So it's truly walking you through the different eras of Grenada and the evolution through that. And that takes the shape of folk dance presentation, soca music, calypso music, the Viniwe, I think I'm saying it right, the Viniwe dancers, the Moko Jumbies. Just prepare to sit on everything that is Grenadianism. I can't find another word to explain it, but that is going to be truly that experience. And I do hope everybody turn out. It's super family friendly. We start at 8, so we're expecting moms and dads and their kids and the schools, everyone to come out because it's going to be a full event catering to every taste bud.
Local performer Hollis, Mr. Killer Map, said the onus is on every Grenadian to question the role they have and continue to play in Grenada's independence to ensure that the island goes up from here.
Are we independent-minded? Are we independent in our heart? How do we really feel about ourselves as Grenadians? And that is a question that's supposed to be asked individually. Not just happy independence Grenada to the bricks and the stones and the buildings in town that has been left from our foreparents and the trees in our jungles, but to our kids, our parents, our co-workers, our brothers and our sisters, our artists, our ministers, the social workers, and all the people who plays a great part on this island, this beautiful island, Grenada. And this is a time not just for the artists that is going to be performing, but it's for all the Grenadians that is going to leave home with the expectation to have a good time of celebration and upliftment at the National Stadium.
This is the Week in Review. When we return, TAMCC receives new climate smart facility to enhance academic achievements.
Grenada, our beautiful pure island, is turning 50. And what better way to celebrate than with an evening that captures our heart, our spirit, our journey. Welcome to Up From Here, an experience of our past, present, and future. Join us at the National Cricket Stadium on Friday, February 2nd, as we revel in a spectacular showcase of Grenadian talent from our very own shores and from across the seas. Our artists are coming home to celebrate with us. Experience the rhythms that rocked our past and melodies that map our future. Live bands, sensational artists, dynamic dancers, all on one stage. And the best part, it's absolutely free. Gates open at 7 p.m. Showtime 8 p.m. Come early. Bring your family. Bring your friends. Let's fill the stadium with our pride, our joy, our unity. 50 years of music, talent, and creativity. This is our moment, Grenada. Let's celebrate. It's only up from here together. Stay connected to our social media pages for updates at Grenada turns 50.
In a significant stride towards sustainable infrastructure, the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy on Friday handed over a state-of-the-art climate smart administrative and School of Continuing Education building to T.A. Marisho Community College. This achievement is as a result of the Enhanced Direct Access Project and resources from the Green Climate Fund and implemented by the Environment Division within the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy in partnership with the Rural Development Unit. The project cost approximately $200,000 EC. The new facilities are designed to withstand climate vulnerabilities. During the handover and ribbon-cutting ceremony, officials from the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the T.A. Marisho Community College, staff and students all welcomed the collaborative venture. Head of the Rural Development Unit, Dr. Stephen Fletcher, spoke at the ceremony.
But very important for us is that this building serves as part of the network of buildings, physical assets, and infrastructure in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique that will enhance the human capacity. It's about building the capacity of our people for the future. It's about building the capacity of our young people to make them the best that they can be.
Dr. Fletcher said any investment in climate-resilient infrastructure is always a good choice.
The physical retrofitting is important because it also allows for the building, the physical resilience of our infrastructure, helping to ensure that even in times of bad weather, hurricanes and storms, that our buildings are able to withstand the vagaries of those changes. And that is important, very, very important as a people and as a country, that we are able to build within the infrastructure of our country the best resilience possible against natural disasters.
Honorable Lennox Andrews, Minister for Agriculture, Planning and Lands, Forestry, Marine Resources and Cooperatives, encourages students to use the facilities to reach their maximum potential academically.
I hope our young people, the beneficiaries of these climate-smart buildings, that you encourage each other to make the best possible use of the facility. Yeah? And that the environment is far more comfortable, it's far more relaxing, so you can enjoy your studies. And studying must never be seen as a pressure on you, my young people. Studying must be seen as something that you like to do, that you want to do, that you go do. And if you ain't do it, you ain't go feel good. Because I know when a night come and I ain't study, I vex. I can't function next day. It's like I waste the whole night. A whole night pass. And I have a quadratic equation to solve. Or I have a simultaneous equation to solve. And I have something, the parabola to work out. And I ain't do it. And I vex. A whole night wasted. So that's the kind of vibes, my children, I want you all to get as school children, so that you can enjoy your studies. Enjoy your studies. We have to take our country's development seriously. And I'm saying to you that the country's development lies in our education. We must educate every single Grenadian. Every single Grenadian has to be educated, trained, and retrained, and be educated at the highest level, so that we can have the required available human resource that we need to develop our country. And I see TAMCC as that institution.
Acting Principal Dr. John Tellisford, while expressing thanks to those involved, said the work done on the Tantin campus is instrumental for the institution, noting that it can align with the college's commitment to be environmentally responsible.
The installation of 2 new roofs on our buildings, generously funded by the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, and the Rural Development Unit, with finance from the Eastern Caribbean Enhanced Direct Access Project, is a testament to the power of collaboration and foresight. The investment in these 2 buildings is sizable for an institution like ours. As we admire the gleaming new roofs, let us not overlook the broader significance of this initiative. Beyond the immediate benefits of structural improvement, these roofs stand as a symbol of the college's dedication to climate resilience. At a time when environmental challenges loom large, we are proud to contribute to a sustainable future by embracing initiatives that mitigate the impacts of climate change.
The Citizenship by Investment Program and GRENLEC are the first 2 sponsors for the 2024 Character Games hosted by Grenada to the tune of $125,000 EC. The handover of checks was held on Wednesday at the Grenada Olympic House with representatives from the Grenada Athletic Association, the local organizing committee, and sponsors. The Carafta Games, an annual event showcasing athletes from the Caribbean, holds immense importance in fostering regional camaraderie and promoting sporting excellence among athletes. With Grenada chosen as the host country, the support from the CBI and GRENLEC is instrumental. Rhea Burke, Marketing and Communications Officer of the Citizenship by Investment Unit, said the CBI is proud to be a platinum sponsor of the prestigious event.
This symbolic gesture reaffirms our commitment to transforming lives of the youth of the region and supporting the aspiration of Grenadian athletes. We believe in the power of sports to shape the future of our nation and, by extension, our region. And our sponsorship of the Carafta Games is a testament to that belief. The Games have a rich history of producing world-class athletes. To the unit, this is more than just a sponsorship. It's a commitment to the future of the Caribbean. We believe in the potential of our young athletes, and by aligning ourselves with the premier regional athletic event, we aim to create a lasting impact on their lives.
IT manager at GRENLEC, Jeffrey Neptune, said GRENLEC prides itself in supporting the development of the nation's youth.
Once again, we are here. GRENLEC is here to demonstrate its unwavering support to the development of our nation's youth and the youth across the Caribbean by extension, because this gesture today goes beyond just supporting or demonstrating our support for local athletes, but for athletes throughout the Caribbean region. The GRENLEC Community Development Initiative has one of its highest priorities as education. One of our highest priorities is the education of our youth. We make little or no distinction between debates, track and field. In the words of my old principal, it's all education through sport. We are delighted to be part of this initiative. We want to congratulate Grenada on being selected to be a host once again among the many nations of the Caribbean.
Vida Bruno Victor, chair of the local organizing committee for Carafta Games, thanked the two sponsors for answering the call.
As we accept our first two sponsorship from our CBI partners and from GRENLEC, we are encouraged that over 500 volunteers for these games, we would be proud that their sacrifice would not be in vain. When they notice that the finance is going to be there to help us to implement, they know that they have to play their role. On behalf of my organizing committee, I offer a sincere thanks to our volunteers, and today in particular to our first two sponsors who have answered our call for financial assistance.
The highly anticipated 51st edition of the Carafta Games is scheduled to take place at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium from March 30th to April 1st. In related news, President of the Grenada Athletic Association, Conrad Francis, said work is being done to ensure Grenada is ready for the 2024 Carafta Games. Grenada, which previously hosted games in 2000 and 2016. Major works in preparation for the 51st Games include resurfacing of the track and field. The President, speaking in an interview with GIS, said currently a team is in Grenada and work has already commenced on the track and field.
Very significant for us is that the track, some work has started this week. All the containers with the materials have arrived, and the workforce, the company who is doing the track, being on from Oregon in the USA, they are here on ground, and they have started their work. So hopefully we will see the track, the resurfacing should take somewhere around 6 weeks, dependent on the weather conditions.
Before the Games, other technical professionals will visit Grenada to conduct necessary assessments.
Also, we have a visit from our regional body, that's NACAC. They are coming in on the 22nd and leave on the 24th. So they will be going through all the little nitty-gritty things with us, making sure that everything is in place. They will be meeting with all our committees and really trying to finalize things and making sure that we have everything in place for the games. In addition to that, we have just signed a contract with Sportsmax. We have signed off on that, and one of the, I think is the production manager, is coming into Grenada on the 22nd also to look at situations and analyze everything to make sure that when they come that everything is in place.
We take a final break. When we come back, we'll hear more about the weekend's vie for a spot in the 2024 Independence Calypso Finals.
Get ready, Grenada. It's time to celebrate 50 years of independence with a soul-stirring experience like never before.
It's time to celebrate the Savior and His word.
Gospel Fusion, the 50th anniversary of Independence Gospel Concert and Family Fun Day on January 21st, 2024. Join us at Progress Park for a day filled with praise, worship, and family fun. Experience the inspiring tunes of Laura Lisa and the harmonious melodies of South St. George Government School Choir and Touch of Grace. But that's not all. Get ready to be moved by St. Anne's Mystical Healing Chapel and the melodious voices of Tira Etienne, Kamala Stevens, Kay Morale, Richard Simon, and Colin Robert. Leading us in worship will be Nicole Fletcher Newton and the Butch Grove New Testament Church of God worship team. All performances will be backed by a dynamic live band. Gospel Fusion is more than a concert. It's a day of gratitude and hope as we celebrate Grenada's 50th.
Welcome back. 20 Calypsonians will compete in this weekend's semi-final round of the Independence Calypso Monarch competition. The theme for this year's Independence Calypso Monarch mirrored the celebration theme of One People, One Journey, One Future. The semi-finals will be held at the Lassages Playing Field, St. David's on Saturday, 20th January from 7 p.m. The semi-finalists are Area Code, Squeezy, Coco, Teacher Eddie, Scholar, Miney, Big J, Superstar, Papa Jerry, Supreme, Katura, Baraka, Prince, Lucky, Randy Isaac, Crocator, Sokari, Royalty, Silver Serpent, and Valine. The Calypso semifinals will be broadcast live on GIS Channel 22, its YouTube and Facebook pages. The top 9 contestants from the semifinals, along with defending Monarch, will compete on January 27th at the Surtees Bus Terminal. Admission is free for both the semifinal and final events. And finally, the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources is set to receive a fully operational tissue culture laboratory, thanks to generous donations from the People's Republic of China. Chinese Ambassador His Excellency Wei Hongshan confirmed the construction of the facility at the Marabou Propagation Station during a recent meeting with Minister of Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources, Honorable Lennox Andrews, and his technical team at the Chinese Agriculture Farm in Lassages. The construction of the lab will be undertaken by a Chinese construction company with the anticipated start date set for August 2024. This development is expected to enhance Grenada's agricultural capabilities and contribute to the export potential of crops like dasheen and ornamentals.
The tissue culture laboratory at Marabou is extremely important. Extremely important. And I would like for us to put things in place to implement or to construct that tissue culture laboratory by the end of the year, or before the end of the year. It would be good to have the tissue culture laboratory constructed.
That was Minister for Agriculture Honorable Lennox Andrews. The Grenada Tissue Culture Laboratory, which was last active in 2009 at the T.A. Marichaud Community College campus, played a crucial role in the micropropagation of disease-free economic crops, such as bananas, ornamentals, root crops, and pineapples. Head of the Agronomy Division and manager of the Marabou Propagation Station, Alison Haynes, said the new lab will support mass production and facilitate export.
We would not be able to only propagate the tree crops as we do now, but we'll be able to better manage the spread of diseases, because we do have, we see higher incidence of pest and disease in the root crops. And so we'll be able to propagate these root crops and ensure that the farmers get them in large volumes to plant at the beginning of the season. Right now, in Grenada, we are importing a lot of dasheen and tanya and all these things from St. Vincent, because our greatest limitation is planting material. So if we're able to mass produce the planting material here, we'll be able to increase our production and then regain our export market, because we used to export the dasheen.
She pointed out the significance of being able to propagate ornamentals in the lab, leading to a decrease in importation cost.
We depend heavily on the private, what do you call them? Yeah, growers, horticulturists, to bring in, import the flowers, which is very costly to them. So with the tissue culture lab, we'll be able to bring in these high value flowers and maintain them here so that we can propagate and continue to provide to our farmers. So the tissue culture lab, I can't emphasize how important it is for us for food security, increasing our ornamental sector, improving that, and for the continued propagation of our tree crops.
And with that story come to the end of the Government's Week in Review for Friday, January 19th, 2024. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I'm Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.